All right, we're live again, and thank you for tuning in to our Patreon videos. So Miguel Cantu, Eddie Hill, Renee Rodriguez, Patrick Newcomb isn't with us today. He's out working in the cold.
He is in a lot of cold right
so you
now.
can see we're all wearing sweaters,
And
beanies, caps. It's pretty nipply outside, and we're nice and toasty in here right now. So
Feels good.
For Texas, it's cold.
for Texas, yeah.
Yeah, Texas is real cold right now.
A little bad. I think this huge cold front pushed through from the Arctic, and now everybody's feeling it
Yeah, but I love it. It's finally starting to feel like Christmas.
a little bit. So today, what we're going to talk about is when you do a movie, you want to establish it as a business, right? So everybody that's a filmmaker says, "I'm an artist. I want to, do this as like a passion project, or this is my baby," but you got to approach it as a business for any investor to want to give you money so you can make this thing happen. So we're going to talk about that process because maybe a lot of people aren't familiar on how to start a business, the quickest way to do it, and how to go about proceeding from there. So y'all started a business before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's pretty easy. I mean, you don't really have to do it as an LLC immediately. You can just start as a DBA. So go to your, county courthouse, precinct, what is it called, parish or whatever, if you're in Louisiana. Go down to your city hall and go to your assumed name offices. Same place where you get a marriage license, you go to change your name, all that kind of stuff. So you go to this database and they have you look up a name. So we're going to be looking up Reefers Creepers, right? See if anybody's taken it. If they haven't, then you can register that name. In Texas, I know for a license to get an LLC is $300. You can establish a DBA for just like $30.
And if you're in California, it's going to run you about $800 because it's very expensive over there to get one in California. Mm-hmm. So if what you could do is if you're thinking about making a movie and you do live like in California or one of these places that it's very expensive to get an LLC, you can go ahead and register for one in another state, that might be where you're going to be filming at. Go over there and get it done there. It'd be a lot cheaper.
Right. So when you have your DBA, you just take that to a comptroller. At the comptroller, they'll issue you an EIN, Employment Identification Number. You get a separate tax ID as well, so you can file your taxes and pay people out, all that kind of stuff. And you take that to your bank, set up a bank account, and that way you have a place for any funds that come in, whether they be product placement, whether they be from an investor, all that can be put into an account. And everyone that comes into the business, they're able to access and see, where the money's going, where it's coming in, what accounts they're in, all that kind of stuff.
And, well, one of the things that I was going to talk about also, Mike, is the fact that I found out that a lot of times what we do when we're actually going out looking for money, we're doing things backwards. And you wouldn't think that we are, but we really are. Because one of the things that I found out is that in order to get funding, a lot of people, when they're making a movie, wants to go out and say, well, I've got an LOI or letter of intent from an actor, and give me $1 million because these are the actors that I want to use, and I've got letters of intent. Most people that are going to give you money do not care about the letter of intent because 9 times out of 10, that actor has never even seen the script that you're talking to people about, and they may or may not want to go forth with that movie, even with the letter of intent. A lot of times their agent will give you a LOI just to get you off their back. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, I've heard of horror stories of letters of intent being given to people requesting money for actors that are deceased and have been deceased for several years.
Because they hold on to it for so long.
Yeah, because they hold on to it with dear life because that's their baby, And that's not the way it really works.
Yeah, the way it works is you show proof of funds and you can actually pay a retainer on an actor. So just showing that you have access to money that they can turn around and their agent can say, oh yeah, so I can take you seriously now because you've already paid. It's kind of like a deposit, right? So
Yeah.
saying that, they've read the script, they're willing to be on board, and you pay them to use their name and their likeness to start, kind of approaching more people. So you can raise some money, like if you want to take like angel investments from friends and family and all that, raise a little bit of money so you can get that started and get the ball rolling on it before you start getting people involved with all the investments. But
Well, the thing is that people who give money, they want to be able, like if I go up to you and I say, Renee, I want you to give me $1,000,000. Okay, I've got some letters of intent here. We're going to create a movie. This is an investment. There's a good chance you're not going to get your money back. Okay,
Sold.
but I want you to give me that $1,000,000. Okay, because let's face it, it's a risk and it's an investment. You may or may not get your money back, but that's part of this whole game. But one of the things that people say is, well, you know what? On your $1,000,000, Renee, I'm going to give you 20% back on that $1,000,000. Right? You good with that? Renee doesn't care about 20% on that $1,000,000. That's nothing to him. And you have to look at it like this. Anybody who has $1,000,000 to just give you, here, go make a movie, 20% is nothing.
right.
To us, it could be the whole world. It's the difference between, eating and starving to death. But to somebody with $1,000,000, I mean, 20% is nothing. And what they're looking at is they're looking at the overall growth, what that movie's going to give them down the road. If this becomes a success, what's going to happen? They don't care about whether you think your movie looks like the Blair Witch or any of these other shows, or it's going to be done so cheaply we can't stand it and it's going to bring in all these millions. There's a possibility there. Yeah, the possibility is there, but will it happen? Who knows? It's a slim chance it will. But you know what? If it does, that's great. I mean, and you're rocking it, but you can't depend on that kind of a thing. You just can't. So, I mean, you have to have ways to go about securing that money from these people, explaining to them, like what we did with our pitch deck, for instance. We have like what we feel that what that movie's going to do realistically, not say what Blair Witch did and how it worked for them.
Right. We're using like pretty recent comparables.
Yeah.
So all the films that we're kind of relating to.
And films that you relate to, you don't want to go beyond 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
You want to keep the film within 10 years of the one you're doing.
And you also don't want to just straight up compare it to another film. Say this is going to be the next Paranormal Activity or this is going to be the next Blair Witch. Why wouldn't they just make a sequel, right? That franchise already exists. You want to be original. You want to create something new because that's where new franchises are built. What else were we going to talk about?
Well, there's a million great scripts out there. There's a million great scripts that haven't come to light yet, and there's a lot of movies that were probably going to be great that somehow got jacked up in the process. But the whole idea is that if you have an idea that you really believe in, you've got to go out there and try, and you've got to push and push and push and push, and never give up. No matter what people tell you, you got to keep shooting for it and going for it, because that is what you've got. And it's good to start kind of low. Say a movie within $250,000 to $500,000, which is a very low budget movie, which has a good chance of bringing funds in. Don't go out there for your very first movie and do $1 million movie or a $2 million movie, because you're probably going to lose your ass on it, more than likely. So, you increase it. Like this time around, we're doing $500,000 for our movie. Next time we may do $750,000 or $1 million.
And we're kind of taking the safe route. We're going with what sells. What sells right now is like horror, thriller, and comedy. We're mashing it up.
And marijuana. Marijuana sells.
Yeah. So
Marijuana
it's going to be like, plus adding
Marijuana
in
sells.
adding in the actors that we're doing, it kind of like increases the value, increases the audience that's going to already want to see it before they even see a trailer. They're just going to hear who's in it and hear what it's about, and they're going to say, "Oh, I want to see that." So we're kind of like trying to minimize risk on what we're doing. We're taking all the correct steps with our development process, meaning we're making a good pitch deck. We've got our schedule done. We've got our budget done. We can actually go back and say, if somebody wanted to see the numbers on what we're anticipating on spending and where it's going to go, we can actually show them, as opposed to somebody just pulling a number out of their head and saying, oh yeah, I need $2 million to film this. And an executive producer is going to go to them and say, okay, show me your budget. Let me see exactly where you plan on spend this, what's going above the line to cast, what's going to camera, what's going to sound, what's going to all these other departments. And if they don't know what that is, they haven't done their research, they haven't done their homework, somebody's just going to laugh at them and say, okay, well, I'm treating this as a business and you don't know how to run your own business, so why would I want to invest in you? So we're trying to avoid all that by getting all the preparation done and be ahead of the game and be ready and prepared for when those hard questions come, we can answer them right away.
Yeah, and don't get caught up into that where, like, if somebody who's going to invest in your movie comes up to you and says, can you guarantee me this? Absolutely not. Don't fall for that, because a lot of times they're testing you. They know you cannot guarantee it. So don't get so hyper thinking that if you say no, you're not going to get the funds. They already know that there's no guarantee on anything. Remember, this is an investment. They could walk out of there losing everything. You could walk out of there losing everything. There's no guarantee on any of the types of funding that you're going to be getting. So don't try and pretend there is, and don't try and make somebody that's going to be giving you funds believe that there is. Tell them these are projected. It's not something that's written in stone. You're hoping for. It could be worse. It could be nothing, or it could be tenfold where you just rake it in. And you have that next movie that's Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch. But those are movies that I'm comparing right now, not because I think they're done great. They were done very smart. They were the people who did these movies. They created an atmosphere where it made everybody want to see them. They were incredibly intelligent the way they did this, and that's why those movies were so successful, because people wanted to see them. Mm-hmm. They believed that they were real. They believed there was real activity taking place. They believed that there was a real Blair Witch. Why? Because of the way that they were actually presented when they were out there doing all the types of advertisement and showing people. These are things that this is part of the hype. This is how you get people's attention. But it takes a lot of money to get out there and do this kind of stuff and get the publicity that they were getting as they were going out there doing it. And once the ball starts to roll and people say, oh, wow, and the hooks dig in, and it starts building momentum, and then it just keeps going.
They didn't spend a lot of money on advertisement, Blair Witch.
Oh, yeah.
For advertisement?
Yes, they did. They spent millions, yes. The Blair Witch was...
No, they spent hardly anything making
the movie, no.
But once they
the advertisement, the advertisements were all the money went to, because of all the commercials, all the TV stations that did it, all the different types of
I thought clips. It was just plain online stuff.
No, no. That was on TV. It was on all the theatrical releases. They had it online. They had it on the radio stations. They were everywhere. Anywhere you turned on or had electronics whatsoever, whether it was TV, radio, internet, it was there, because they were making it to where you had to see it. By the time you got done watching all these commercials, it was so much hype that everybody, I got to go see it. And then you go see it and you're like, yeah, I mean, it was okay. I mean,
no, it's a good movie.
Yeah, but I mean, most people, they don't want to admit that it wasn't like the most fantastic thing they've seen because of the amount of hype. It was a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was good, but it was done cheaply. It was done inexpensively. They did a good job with the amount of money that they had to film it, and they raked it in. They brought in those funds because of the way they got that movie out there. And it was done all because of advertisement, the way they went out there and their marketing, the way they employed their marketing strategy to get that movie out there, to get people hyped up. That's what got the money coming in. Not because the movie was so great, but because of the marketing campaigns.
And try to keep that into consideration too when you're working on your budgets. Is a good chunk of it's going to go to marketing and go towards advertising, because I mean, you can make the greatest movie ever, but if nobody knows that it exists, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to pay to see it.
What's the percentage that we're spending on advertisement?
I gotta check.
A guesstimate.
Guesstimate. I think we have allocated like 20%.
20%. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
it's still a good.
Well, not only that, but I'm going to tell you flat out, our movie, it is the best.
And that's super conservative too for setting aside money for your film. to get the name out there. Ideally, you want to spend almost the same amount, if not double, what you put into the film just on advertisement if you want to take it to the level of box office and get in theaters and make it into a household name. Since we are doing indie distribution, we're taking a cheaper route. We're looking at maybe putting banners on imdb.com. So when somebody goes to the website, they'll see the movie there and they say, oh, what is this film? Some people actually spent some money on showing me this, so I got to check it out now. Getting it on any other publication that's film related, so Variety, Hollywood Insider, all those kind of like magazines and everything. They still put out blogs. They still put out stuff on their websites. Even having an electronic press kit and EPK, that helps out a lot, because you could just send that to all kinds of media outlets and they can just blast it for you if you have something decent enough to talk about. If it's something original enough, people will make a story out of it and want interviews and all that kind of stuff.
So, Renee, what do you think so far now that you see a lot of the process and how it goes and how long it takes to actually get anything to happen? I mean, what's your whole thought process? Because, I mean, we're all new to this as far as this goes.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're all, well, Miguel's not, but
well,
you and I are.
he's still new to as far as the directing part of it.
Yes, but as for the back end of this stuff,
The back end, no.
I have no idea because
He's got a lot of...
okay, so we started this with, of course, just an idea of making a show. Of course, it evolved into a movie, but writing it seems like the simple part of making the movie. Now, all the stuff we're doing now it's insane. It's a lot of stuff to do. It's a lot of work, and most of the time, you guys have done. Miguel and Jesus have done a lot of the stuff. See, I'm not involved as much as you guys are, but what I've seen you do, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. That's okay. So what I've learned is, of course, it's a shit ton of work, and it takes forever to do anything. I don't know if it's that's normal. Is it maybe a Hollywood thing, or maybe it's or is it because we're learning?
You do want to take your time on this stuff. You don't want to rush it, because we want to do it right. People always say, oh, if you want to make a movie, just make a movie. No, you don't just make a movie. You want to be able to sell it.
And to do it right.
We're not just doing this for fun. We want to turn a profit. We want to be able to have whoever invests with us make a profit as well. We don't want to be owing people for the rest of our lives. So, so if we do it right, we plan it out right and properly, then,
And here's the other thing. I mean,
we can make a lot of money on it.
Even though, like, Miguel has a lot of experience in FX and special effects and all that, this is our first true movie.
Yeah.
That,
so I've been working on films for the past 10 years now.
Yeah, but this is the first time it's actually yours.
And, yeah.
We're
putting one together.
This is your baby, and I mean, it's all our baby, now.
But that being said, whenever you work on your first film, don't be married to the one project and say, oh, if things don't go this way, I'm not going to proceed. You just gotta kind of save those passion projects for later. Work on those when you have time and money. Get the ones that sell out of the way first, so you get that experience, you get the money built up, so that you can funnel that into other projects that you actually have passion for and can take a lot of that responsibility and risk on yourself.
And if there's a particular movie that you really have a big passion for, that has been something that's been brewing inside of your brain for a while,
like Eddie's got Anunnaki, and that one's going to be that's way on down the line.
Down the line, because that's something that it's a big project. It's going to take millions to film that one, but don't ever put your big cards out on the table first, if that makes any sense to you. Because by doing so, if that is going to be a big project that it's going to be like your most awesomeness type movie, well, yeah, it's awesomeness type movie that you've ever done, you don't want to make that your first project and then screw it up. Okay? Because those projects are going to require a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of actual nitpicking to make them what you want. The project that you put out there first, like Mike said, is one that is going to make the turnover the quickest. It's going to be the most entertaining for the buck that you can possibly do. and you make it as just as awesome as possible with the amount of money that you have to spend, and you don't let go of it, because I mean the whole point of making these movies is to turn a profit and be able to turn around and go on to your next movie. So like this one, like I said, I mean, it's 500 grand. Next one may be 750 grand. Next one may be $1 million. Next one $1.5 million. Next one may be $3 million. And I mean, and you just kind of work it up from there, and go into it. And we, of course, Death Mask, we're working on. That one's going to have a lot of special effects as well, too.
Yep. So
that one's going to be kind of a pricey one to shoot. Not only that, but we're definitely not going to be on location over here where we live to film that one. We're going to be out, if anybody's in New Orleans or, around Bourbon Street, we're going to be in those areas. So you want to come check us out. It's going to be tough to film, but it's going to be doable. And one of the cool thing about it is that with all the voodoo shops and stuff out there, I'm not giving nothing away. It's going to be pretty neat because we'll be able to actually talk to some of the real folk, the real people that are dealing in voodoo and things of that nature, and be able to get our feet wet and actually film real rituals and things of that nature going into it. But that's down the road. That's going to be even a tougher project for us, because of all the delicate type special effects that we have to create. So just be ready for that one, because when that one comes up, it's going to be gory, bloody, nasty, slimy.
Yeah. This one, Reefers Creepers, it's not going to have as much special effects. It's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's still going to be some, pretty gnarly transformations. Trying to make it happen in camera is going to be tricky. Some of the smoke effects and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, we've got our we still have our demons to battle on this one. Even once we do have the funding to film it. I mean, we're gonna have a time to try and to get around all those effects and try and work it. So it's definitely we're gonna have our demons we have to fight, and you will too. And it doesn't matter what film you're gonna be working on. Those demons are gonna follow you around and do everything they can do to keep you from getting that film done. Between, locations that get jacked up, cameras that get jacked up, lighting that gets jacked up, maybe makeup that gets jacked up, reshoots that you have to do, things that get screwed up, memory cards get lost or corrupt. So much stuff can go wrong, and expect it.
And don't forget to set aside some money for insurance as well. You want to make sure that everything's protected on your film. In case something does happen, you want to be able to set some money aside for that. You don't want things to go haywire and then not have a plan at all. So do look into getting some insurance. And backtracking a little, when we were talking about with Death Mask, trying to take that to Louisiana. So if you do plan on shooting locations, changing locations, talk to your film commission, talk to any film commission from any city, state that you can, because they will have good recommendations on where to shoot, what's a film-friendly place, what they can do to close off streets if you need that taken care of, all that kind of stuff. They can handle that, just depending on where you want to shoot, if it's local, if it's out of town, if it's out of state, whatever. So we deal a lot with our San Antonio film commissioner. She's been doing a great job. She actually celebrated her first year.
Oh, wow.
It was yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Crystal Jones, congratulations if you're watching. Probably not, but we need more viewers.
By the way, you realize that us, right here, we're our biggest fans. Did you know that? Actually, I think we're our only fans.
Probably, yeah.
And I kind of look at what we do right now as a refresher course for myself.
What we need to do is do like everybody else on Patreon and just show some titty.
Nobody wants to see my titty.
Renee,
let's see your titty.
Pull them areolas out.
Yeah, they're furry.
I think Patrick will do it.
Patrick, would.
Patrick will show his butthole.
Patrick's probably got that braided.
That's so foul.
So, real quick, Renee. I mean, seriously, right now up to this point? What part of this whole process actually surprised you the most? Or
surprised me?
Yeah, that really got your attention. What part of this whole process so far?
Money. Trying to find money.
The money.
That is the. I thought maybe we'll be done 6 months. We'll have money. It'll be great, but man,
it's a lot harder. Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Seriously, I didn't think it was going to take this long to get any kind of funding.
Which brings us to Jesus Cifuentes.
who hopefully we'll have next week. Maybe, I don't know. It's gonna be
Jesus, I'm
Christmas
telling
time,
you.
So
You need to drag your butt over here so that you can also be a fan of us, and we can have 5 fans, which basically all of us. So
Hey, you know what? I know we can get some fans. How about we sit down one night and start playing D&D? We can bring a lot of people in. We'll play D&D. Anybody?
I don't know how to play.
Oh.
I don't either. I can role play, but normally I'm getting dressed up or doing something.
I don't want you to be in the gimp. No. All right. Well, I see a lot of people playing D&D online, but never mind. It's just an idea.
So, if you would help us out, please tell your friends and family, and share these videos out there so at least we can get more than just ourselves on here. Because basically all we're doing is keeping a diary.
Yeah, but it helps us because we're keeping on track. We're updating ourselves on what we're doing, what our process has been.
Actually, talking this stuff out loud it's helping us.
Right.
It is, and not only that, but later on, once this whole thing's complete, we can literally come back and watch, the stress, as we're all sitting here sweating, going, damn, it's a
You see
bitch to get money.
Beard growing more and more every day.
Well, look at mine. I started out with my beard; it was kind of black, but all my dye wore off already.
You need to grow yours out now. Get yours
No, I'm fine
Like this, look.
you're all mountain
See?
man.
No, every time I grow along, it's like a bunch of spiders sitting out.
What if we
It's
start
gross.
going on these adventures though, and then you're gonna have to have a beard?
Oh, that's
Because
fine.
we're gonna be traveling all over the place.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
what happens if we're in Antarctica or something?
Then I'm gonna have a big fluffy beard.
You're gonna be all fuzzy.
Hell yeah. It's super fuzzy.
Wait, I
Fuzzy
don't,
areolas.
I don't know. I don't know if Patrick can get too fuzzy.
I'll glue some hair on his face.
We'll have to. Do you have any chewy hair, like for Chewbacca?
Yep.
We'll get Patrick all furry.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to talk about as far as paranormal? We've got. Well, we only have like 3 minutes left, but what do you want to bring up as far as paranormal type stuff? Anything cool happen? Anything that you thought of?
Oh no, we can't really talk about that.
Well,
No,
then
what
don't
happened
talk about
last time when we were here.
Oh no, we really can't. Well, you know what? Yeah, we can.
Why? What?
You weren't here.
You wasn't here. Yeah, let's
So,
tell them. Let's tell them
okay.
that. Talk about it.
So, yeah. So
Yeah, you missed out on this one.
now here in our office,
You gotta listen.
Now they don't want us talking about some of the stuff that happens here, but we had a strange occurrence the other day, and it's not the first time that something weird has happened here. And so we're sitting around. It was me, Eddie, Patrick, and we were editing this other video, right? And all of a sudden we hear this loud crash, like somebody,
Boom!
like glass hit the floor
Hallway.
or something. I was like, did somebody just throw something? It sounded loud and like it sounded angry, right? So we jump up, open the door, and all the way down the hall I see one of my buddies just walking out, right? And I was like, oh, he must have been mad. I wonder what he threw. And I see that there's a dry erase board that's right outside on the hallway on the floor. And I said, well, did he throw this or what? And it couldn't have been because he's so far down the hallway. He's going down the steps already. And we're all looking at each other like, how did this come off? So I go around into the other room, and I'm looking around to see if there was anybody else there that might have knocked it down. I don't see anybody. So we pick it up, look at it. It's got like 2 pieces of Velcro on the back, 2 pieces that are still on the wall. And we're like, well, this thing just kind of came off the wall. I don't know if it was loose or what.
But when we stuck it back up there,
Yeah.
we put it back up.
You just push it back up.
It was.
You try yanking that thing
There
off,
was
it
no
takes
pulling that thing
force.
off the wall.
So after a while, I said, you know what? We have security cameras. Let's play it back and see what we can see. So we play it back, and sure enough, you see my buddy walking out of his office and going down the hall, going to the restroom, and then he comes out the restroom. And as he's going down the steps,
It's wiggling.
the thing is on the wall, and you see the board do this number, and then
Bam.
onto the floor.
Shut the front door. You haven't showed me this?
I can show you. Well, my phone's dead.
Yeah.
I recorded it on my phone, but yeah, you can see the thing
Yeah,
wiggling.
you can
and
see
then-
Do
it.
you still
right.
have the footage? Is it
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
No,
on
not
the
film.
thing. I don't think it's on the.
I don't think it stays.
I think it
there that
records over itself, but
But yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
see it like this on the hall, and and you can all of a sudden you see that it just
and
start
then-
wiggling
and then drops.
like that, and then it goes bam.
Strange. So a lot of people they just say, well, it was probably just loose, and I'm like, that thing wasn't loose. Like you
Well,
try yanking that thing.
Here's the thing. Loose or not, it's not going to wiggle back and forth from the wall because there's no vents that are going to be blowing like that in there ever.
Yeah. So when I show you, you're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that did I send it to you?"
No.
I didn't send it to you. I thought I sent it. Well, anyways, maybe we'll upload it later and just be like a bonus video for people
Let's
to check
put it
out.
on. Yeah,
All right, I'll do that.
man.
So, see it, share us, like us. If you don't like us anyway.
Yeah,
You know, we need the likes, so send it out, make people like us,
a little bit.
threaten them.
So we will have a giveaway soon. We haven't taken photos yet of the masks, but hopefully
We showed it to them last time.
Yeah, he was here for that.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but you're not going to get anything if you don't become one
Right.
of our.
Patrons.
So if you're watching this, you make sure you like our Facebook page, like or follow us on Instagram, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. You can see the updates whenever we post videos. You don't have to just follow us on Patreon, but we recommend that you do because you can help us by donating maybe $1 or $2 a month. Watch our Save a Stoner video, and you can see that we're asking for only $2 a month, which translates to 6.66 cents a day. And you can help save a stoner. We'll send a picture of a stoner, probably Renee.
Yeah.
I'm not a stoner. What are you talking about?
Wait. Look at that camera.
Drugs are
Don't-
illegal.
Do not try and open up your eyes wider.
Put the hoodie on. Let's see.
There you go. Look, and see his eyes just sank.
Just stay home.
Look. See,
Look at that. Pothead.
any policemen are out there, tell me you wouldn't stop his ass.
Just going back home. Watch some TV and veg out.
So we need to have that giveaway, but we need followers. We need people to give it away too. So share with your friends. Make sure you pass the word out. We do want to meet with a couple more people, and hopefully we get some funds to where we can get started on announcing who our talent's going to be. And once that happens, I think this thing's just going to exponentially explode.
Remember, we can't get talent without having funding in our account so that we can have the proof of income, the proof of funds, the POF.
We can't get funding unless we're an LLC.
We need LLC when we get some money. So I got to set some money aside, which I've been doing for every single part of this. Like this whole process, I've already gone like what, 6,000 or so into it, and
At least.
So I mean, you're going to be spending quite a bit of money too yourselves, depending on who you know, what kind of deals you can make. Jesus has been great with us, getting a lot of our business side taken care of and getting all the development.
You need a
stuff.
sugar mama.
I
That's
do,
what you need.
I do. So,
Oh, real quick, if anybody out there has money and they're looking for a little fuzzy wuzzy teddy bear, okay, please adopt him.
they can't see how fuzzy I am. Look at all this fuzz.
That's a lot of
That's
fuzz.
adorable. I look like that bear on the little St. Jude blanket. Or the little kids
The St.
holding
Jude
up.
blanket.
Oh, man.
Shriner's little bear.
So, if you're looking for a good man, he's available. All right, so please adopt him. We want him to have a good home, and especially if you have money, he'll do whatever you want, anything.
Maybe.
And
Patrick's the one that'll
and-
do whatever you want.
Well, Patrick will do anything,
Patrick's a-
and you don't even have to pay him much.
He's a whore. Yes, he's a whore.
I know he's watching. He's like, man,
He's a
hate you
good,
guys.
yeah. He's your cuddly teddy bear. Patrick is your man whore, and he'll take care of your needs. Doesn't matter what you look like.
Well, I think that's it. We're already 34 minutes in.
Ain't nothing else to say.
We got nothing else to say, so
We're good.
We missed last week just because we were working a film.
Yeah, we were on set last week,
Me and Eddie. Eddie was doing weapons,
blowing shit up.
blowing stuff up. Yeah,
Yeah.
we made some barrels explode. We made a mannequin explode.
Oh, we vaporized the mannequin, dude.
Did some gunshots. Did some squibs. It was great.
Yeah, so we were busy on set, and it's the movie's out. It still has to be edited and everything, but it's called Texas Cotton. Phenomenal movie, and our good buddy George, he's from Alabama. He played the actor. He was the sheriff in that movie, and just a great guy. And the film is going to be awesome. So congratulations to you guys. I know you did a wrap on it finally, and that it's amazing. Y'all were great. We really enjoyed working with you guys on set. You know, thank you very much for the opportunity, and we look forward to you guys coming back so we can see the finished product.
Yep. And then maybe they can help us out with our movie. See
Hint,
how it
hint.
goes. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks
Later.
for tuning in.